It's 6:30. I'm going to head off and get a good posse for the morning. I think the fishing boat's going as well. Yep, they're off. We ended up quite close to this one, getting the anchor up. It's quite a cool morning. Cape Brett and the whole of the Rock Island. This is Stockyard Bay on Waewaetorea Island. These islands used to be farmed until they passed into public or dock ownership. And there we can see Ninepin in the distance. So this island here has a tunnel right through it. And one year Finn and I snorkeled through there. Trouble is you need somebody keeping an eye on the boat. So we're heading to the north side of Waewaetorea Island, into the Waewaetorea Passage for the morning. Right, here we go. We'll head in towards the beach there. Oh, it's a lovely beach. We'll let the sun arrive and warm the place up before we even think about a swim to the beach. And there's Passage out into the ocean, and there's a reef just over here. Now looking out into the middle of the Bay of Islands. Tarpeka Point there, and Motukiki Island is the one closest to us. We went round the other side of that a couple of days ago. Oh, sou'westers increased as it tends to do mid-morning, and we have wasps arriving. That's my name for these infernal buzzy things. You might know them as a jet ski. I will give them credit for slowing down as they come in. Doesn't always happen. It's warming up now. Still windy. It's got a carver tree. All those hairs fairly late. Flowers on it. I later might go to shore and go across to the rocky exposed beach on the other side. So I misrepresented it before. This is the Okahu Passage, because that's Okahu Island on the left, Waewaetorea on the right. That's pretty much low tide. And here's the reef. A nice clear water. We're only in about 3.5 metres. Well, here's one of the very fast tourist boats. Busy doing some work remotely on the computer through Starlink, and it is a bit frustratingly slow, but still possible. So they'll be going out to the hole in the rock. Well, here comes the big tourist boat. I improved the Starlink performance by getting Dishy to align itself. Normally I stow Dishy flat. The monohull out here has got someone up the mast on the spreader. And my hydroponic garden is still going well. Wonder if he's going to jump. Oh yeah, drop in the bosun's chair. I'm sure he is. Hello. Tourist boat coming through. It's gone round to the east now. I've finished my work. It's a part-time job. I do for the hospital. I can do remotely. And it's starting to warm up. Although it'd be nice if the sun came out rather than being overcast. Cape Brett and hole in the Rock Island to the left. Oh, there's Waka's mast. Bye-bye. We'll be back. Looking across to Cape Waewaetorea, the north end of the Bay of Islands. And this island here, there's a tunnel through it, which is a good swim through. Only problem is what you do with the boat, which is fine if you've got more people. Well, there it is. It's actually wider than it looks. Does a bit of a dog leg in there. Oh, sails up. And I think we'll do some broad reaches. More pleasant. May not be quicker, but more pleasant. Just looking back to where we've come. The redhead is on the left. Fairly sure I'm on starboard, you're on port. That's a wee bit close. Well, we've jibed quite a deep broad reach, but clearing Tarpeka Point at this stage. A few boat wakes around. So there's looking back to whence we came from. And around to Motakiki, Roberton Island over there. Tarpeka Point off the, or fine off the port bow. Black rocks over here. Waewaetorea with 9-pin on the right. Making good progress. What have we got? Parrot wind of 3.5 knots. True wind of about 10. And we're doing 4.7. And look, the paddle wheel and thus speed is now working. Whangarei Marine won't just let us use speed over ground on the calculation. It's beyond me, it's a very practical thing. Looks very similar to the boat that was beside us at North End with Catamaran 2 years ago. Well, we're coming up on Tāpeka Point. Giving a fairly wide berth to avoid all the traffic, and the wind shadow will be under the hills. Well, there's looking back up where we come from. Roberton Island being the nearest one. Tāpeka Point. It's 3 o'clock, the wind's picked up a bit as it's wont to do with a sea breezy sort of day, even though it's an easterly, and we're making fine progress. Tucker Thompson dropping sails, probably going to Russell. Just dropped the main and they're doing the same thing. Right, heading into Russell. Look for our mooring. I'm sure it's where we left it. It was serviced last year. Looking back in the direction of, although you can't see it, Tāpeka Point. Okay, we're here, so I used the gaff to pick it up, and of course it was covered in dirt or slime. I've got 2 ropes to it. Of course we're going to swing a lot because it doesn't have a bridle arrangement as such like Catman 2 did, but we have made it. The beach is over here. The mooring was quite close behind this boat, but now a bit of weight's on it. We've moved the chain a bit. Oh, I better wash the stuff off the boat. Tucker Thompson's dropped his passengers off. Maybe going to buy here, but certainly home berth is Opua. So I think I said Matthew spent a week on her when he was at school. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, that's been successful. I always find it a bit anxiety-provoking docking the boat or picking up a mooring, but it all went well. We've done 10 nautical miles today.
The road was closed about an hour ago, but we thought we would try and see if it had reopened. So 4 helicopters, 10 fire engines. Here's the helicopter. Don't know if you can see it. Can't see it on the... Oh, there it is.
Well, there's 2.
Hard seeing on the reflection of the phone. Oh, one thing, they've got a handy water source.
So if you look this way, you don't think there's a fire. Then you turn your head to the left.
Oh my god, yes, Stuart's right. Look out here. You can't even see the other side of the harbour.
Third one.
Oh, where's the helicopter? Oh, there it goes. And this is where it's all happening.
Road between Onerahi and Tabatero just after midday today. Now, multiple crews are currently tackling the blaze, including 10 trucks and 5 helicopters, with some nearby homes also evacuated. At this stage, it's unknown how the blaze started, but the fire is believed to be around 20 hectares in size and is not contained at this stage. We spoke to Fire and Emergency a short while ago about the conditions they've faced today, and here's what they had to say.
It started at about 12:30 today in a narrow gully, and it's gone up both sides. One side of the farmland on the west, and the east side has gone up into heavy fuels, being at scrubland and towtra.
Now, firefighters say it should take around 3 to 5 days to fully extinguish the blaze, with a fire investigator expected at the scene tomorrow morning. This is the second blaze in the past week in the Whangarei Heads area, with authorities urging people to remember there are fire restrictions in place in several areas across the country. Wendy.
Isabel, thanks.
Well, it's been an overcast and a fairly cool late afternoon. Now this tug picks its mooring up stern too, because it's much easier to pick it up from the lower stern. Boat traffic is fairly minimal at this time of evening. I understand there's a walking track up to the flagstaff on top of the hill from this bay. This is the flagstaff that Honeyhiki chopped down a few times. Well, not that one, but the side of it. And looking over to Waitangi. That's one of the ferries. 3 beeps going backwards, leaving the wharf. I imagine it's heading across to Pai here. We have our friends the swallows. Apart from pooping on the deck, seem to have become very popular. Look at them all. Maybe if they all flap their wings will go faster. Look at them all. Maybe if they all flap their wings will go faster. It's 10:15. Now we've turned around, so we're now stern to Russell.